This video is on a 2007 Mazda 6 V6 installing new spark plugs. This job takes approximately 3 to 5 hours. I have condensed it into a 10-minute video. Start with removing the engine cover. Using a 10mm socket or wrench, remove the battery. Loosen the bellows screws and undo coolant and vacuum hoses. The coolant line may drip some antifreeze. You might want to have a rag ready. Push the green tab and slide off the vacuum hose. Pull off the bellows. Remove the coolant line and vacuum hoses from under the throttle body. Once again, you may want to have a rag ready because the coolant line may drip some antifreeze. Undo the vacuum hoses at the back of the plenum. Remove the three 8mm bolts holding the EGR to the plenum. Disconnect the control wire from the throttle body. Pop out the red retainer clip, then pull off the connector. This is a pattern for removal and installation of bolts from the plenum. Break all the plenum bolts free first by hand. Then loosen them all completely. Carefully lift the plenum up and away from the EGR extension tube, which inserts into the plenum. Disconnect the back three coil pack connectors. To prevent dirt and debris from falling into the intake manifold, place some paper towels or rags over the now open holes. Disconnect the front three coil pack connectors by pushing down on the small tab at the back of the connector, same as on the rear three. Remove the coil pack retaining bolt and pop out the coil pack. Unscrew the spark plug. If your spark plug socket doesn't have a rubber gripper inside, you can always use a rubber boot attached to the coil pack to pull the plug out. This is an NGK iridium plug after 140,000 kilometers. The gap for these NGK plugs is set to 0.044. The new plug goes in. Carefully thread them in by hand first. Torque the spark plugs down to between 8 and 11 foot-pounds. Put a thin film of dielectric grease on the tip of the boot and at the top of the seal. and then install the coil pack. It should click into place. Install the retaining bolt. Repeat this procedure 5 more times. Remove the old plenum seals and replace with new ones. Repeat this procedure 5 more times. Make sure that you remove the rags covering the holes in the intake manifold. Reconnect the lower vacuum line. Carefully work the plenum back into place and onto the EGR extension tube. Make sure the plenum sits completely on the manifold and there are no wires or hoses pinched. Following the same bolt down pattern as before, start to thread the plenum bolts in by finger. Once all the bolts are finger tight, torque them down to 72 to 106 inch-pounds, still following the bolt down pattern. Reconnect the 3 vacuum hoses at the back of the plenum. Reinstall the 3 EGR 8mm bolts and torque them to 23 to 30 inch-pounds. Reconnect the coolant and vacuum lines to the throttle body. Reconnect the throttle body control cable. Reinstall the bellows. And reconnect the vacuum and coolant hoses. As you reinstall the battery, put a thin film of dielectric grease on the terminals to reduce corrosion. Reinstall the engine cover. Top up the antifreeze. Now for the moment of truth. Start the car.